All right. In this video, I wanted to talk about a few things that are all somewhat related. Um, Over the years, most dodge builds would just run high block armors and they would just stack defense boost. They would get like, you know, what is it, Space Gauntlet, and then Bag of Nuts came along, they would stack it on top. You'd have your buns, Pet and Guest, Pig Drake, Pet, and some other ideas, but that's a constant maintenance and it's kind of time consuming and a headache. The argument is that other ways, such as the cold or blind, stuff like that, requires monster saves. But in recent years, there's been more and more potent blind stuff come out. There's been the advent of ease of access to potencies, like in this case, blind potency. So wanted to kind of show off why I think blind is better than Defboost. And you can stack multiple blind items these days um, pretty easily. And what I'll do here is I'll start off with, like, it's even better as a mage. I have let's see which character it is here. It's this guy here. It's actually, being a mage, it's actually simpler to stack blind ideas. So you're able to get high blinds for multiple turns, and the multiple turns thing is the reason. Now, this character has quite a bit. I own quite a bit of premium items, so in some cases, having access to premium items is preferable. But as you can see, this weapon has burn and blind toggles. It has burn mode, blind mode, or both. When it does both, it halves the um the effect. So I'm just going to do blind in this case. Um, and there are some spells out there. There is a couple options on blind, not counting absolute darkness, which I don't like. It's an overcharged spell for only a 10 blind that's permanent. That's not good. You want to stack the actual blind amount, not the turns. And so what we're talking about here is certain ideas. I don't actually have a darkness spell here, but what I do have is something that a lot of people don't understand how powerful it is. So I'm actually going to have blind potence here. This is a lucky beast mage character, as you can see. Light Realm Champion Shield is blind potence, and it does dodge heal. It's hits versus blocks versus attempts. So essentially, you need to block all attempts. But what I tend to actually use, let's see here. You got some options. You got more potence. This is a level 140 character, so I'm going to have a little bit of an advantage. Better luck, a little bit more advantage. So I'm going to swap to blind. That's going to scale versus energy. I'm actually going to do ultraviolet light, which is dazzle, but blind potence works with it. So it only works if the actual spell lands on it's just one hit light, one hit dark. So in this case, the dark hit has to land. And it literally stays until the monster throws it off. So now we have, and it's 22. So now we have 44 dazzle and 26 blind. So I'm literally at 72 total blocking. So now I'm at over 100, just like that. Three spells, over 100. The blind lasts for 4 rounds. The dazzle will last until it's thrown. It will gain 2 to the save So, monsters will get rid of it at some point. But there's some other ideas that you can use. Probably my all-time favorite is Mandate spell. And Mandate you can use with certain weapons. I really like to use it with Skargor the Overachiever. And then I've got, in this case, I don't have Blind Potence, but I am going to use, let's see, it's basically the Shield of Plenty clone, which staff made an excuse to nerf those with the creation of 2 more. They think they look slick, but they're predictable and stupid. So now I'm using a Blind Potence misc here. It says I'm increasing my burn damage by 15.44%. So I'm using an armor that actually has blinds on all landed hits with spells and hits. So I'm basically going to just cast Mandate here. So we're getting blind from 2 sources. So I'm 4 rounds at 30.8. So that's not too bad, but I mean that's literally going to cause some hits to dodge. As you can see, those 3 dodged. And it caused the regen there to be a 1.33. So I'm going to do it again. So this is basically so much potence, they just need to land hits. So now we're up to 53. I'm doing my damage on the burn and the poison that's coming from the weapon. As you can see, in this case, now this is a lower level monster. It's missing. And then the reason why the Mockster's hat is so nice is I'm able to inflict burns and blind, and the Mockster hat is helping at both. So it's increasing this harm burn and the earth burn that's there. So as you can see, now I have a 2 power regen and a 1.33 power regen. And so maybe we can get all 3 to land this time. Now I'm up to 70.7. So one of them missed. And see, at this point, the regen is so high that even if they land a hit, it kind of just doesn't matter. We'll just watch the regen that pops in right here. 729. I mean, that's pretty high. Up to 66 blind for 6 rounds. Not going to see too much of a difference. Block, block, block. But you can also... So I'm going to use Vengeance of Nulgath, actually. The monster might die before it goes. So it's going to dodge heal my MP. So sometimes I use that if I don't feel like I have a threat, and I'm able to continue casting. So there's enough stuff out there where you do not need blind potence too much. So here's a monster. A lot of stuff scales these days. So here's a monster. So I'm going to actually use the light version of the Radiant Spire. And then in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just do a Shadow Feeder Pendant Celerity. Alright, so it's probably better. So energy is 10, so it doesn't make sense to use the Bell Charm. So I'm just going to use the Mockster hat. And then I'm actually going to use the Shield Steel. And one thing that you can do is bring in Moo Pet. And I'm going to use the Ultraviolet Light, which doesn't care about resistance as long as it's positive. And you just need to land your hits. So that's a 44 BTH. We're only getting a 9 blind out of the weapon because it's so low. I'm actually not dodge healing my MP. My SP got low enough. But what MovePet will do is, I'll probably have to turn that back on. What MovePet will do is it will actually make the monster go twice, and if you know you're going to dodge, you're going to replenish faster. I'll show it right here. So we have 66 dazzle, which should be good. Heal, heal. Go again, heal even more. And it's just enough to keep casting. Some monsters you'll get better at with using MovePet compared to others. So you can play like spellcasters, like you can even use your spellcaster lean armors, but then just dodge and then just play defensive that way. And so that's why blind is better, is because you have ultraviolet light that with, let's see how I fare over here, that with enough potence, well, this monster is going to have, let's see if I can pull this off. This monster is going to have 30, it can end up giving itself 30 boost. So actually, let's actually try something different here. So I'm basically going to be running all blind shit. Either potence or stuff will be inflicting blind. So that's dormant. Okay. So let's see what we get. So we get 24 and 22. So half and half there. Let's see. And of course you can do dodge lash once you get blind up to a certain point. So dazzle's now 44. Now it's at 66. But it has a plus 10. I can't even see the blind right now. I have no idea what the blind's at. But I just dodged its nuke right there. If you want to use weapons that work versus bonks, then that works. Let's see. Make sure that's still on. Nope, it's not on no more. Maybe I can get some blinds here. And this pet is actually bugged. I think there's a darkness version of it. It'll actually bug out your blinds. So it looks like we have a 71 right now. Let's see what happens. It finally thwarted the dazzle because I got rid of my shield. Let's go back. Let's see here. 89. Now, as you see, it went to 4 rounds and 51. 63. 73. And the 5% floor is not enough to really do any damage to you unless that one hit was like a one hit that lucky strikes. Now I just want to end this video and pivot to a misc that I think went under the radar. Let's see, so I'm going to actually change to a standard Beast Mage setup. The Signet of the Ring of Shadows. it actually has two different heals, and you can get them to both fire at the same time. It will heal versus panicked enemies, and I'll show this off real quick. I'll lower my hit points here. But it does it at the end of your pet and guest's turn. As you can see, there's no heal, it's panicked. So the pet and guest goes. Okay, so nothing now there. So now it'll actually kick in. Assuming I have no, oh, I don't have panic at all. There it goes. Alright. Land a hit, motherfucker. There we go. There should be high enough panic. So as you see, it healed right then. It's a pretty small heal, but it also will heal based on dodging. So if you're inflicting panic and you're dodging, it will actually heal a lot more. Let's see what we can get with Mandate. So I'm at 1785. The monster's going to go. Dodge. Oh, the fight ended. I'll just show it versus practice trainer. And you'll see it in practice here. So I'm actually going to get rid of my shield. So there's panic. So I'm at, let's see, 2461 to 2540. Plus I dodged. So that was a single hit. But it actually, there's no blind present. So the ring will only heal on dodges, but only if blind is present. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to cast Mandate. Blind will be present for several rounds. So I'm going to have 2540. It's going to heal twice. And you're going to see it's worthwhile. So it's from 2540 up to 2963. That's 323 heal. And that's just with your misc. That's healing you twice based on 2 triggers. And then you can bring in your shield. So I'm going to show it with the shield. So we're at 1977. Let's see if it hits me. So 1977 up to 2738, almost 1000 heal. This shield has a weaker heal than, say, the Everspring series or the Shield of Plenty series. But at the end of the day, it has the blind potency, so it's pretty nice. But that's it for this video. Just wanted to kind of cover why I think blind's better. Show off this ring. This ring's underrated. It gives you 50 endurance also. It's in the Shadow Set update quest. I would recommend it. You get your blind in the 40s, you already have a 50% block rate, so it's already going to be healing you half the time. So it's worthwhile.